Put your feet up and relax. It's time to enjoy another half hour of Hatteberg's People.
Coming up.
I guess there's a scripture that says, this too shall pass, and I just keep thinking about that. It's got to get better.
What do you do when your house is obliterated by a tornado?
If you're Marion and Ella Marrs, you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. At age 80, wait till you hear how it all turned out. Also,
I really learned how to portray a character and act like I was that person.
How fitting that a Wichita girl land the role of BTK's daughter in a national television drama. It was a heavy subject, but Morgan Fowler took it all in stride as she looked to the future and a life of performing. Discover what drove her passion and learn where she is today more than a decade later. Plus,
I'd like French Schweiger on white with some lettuce and mayonnaise, please.
And they always talk to you. They're friendly people.
they were among the last of a dying breed, owners of a small mom-and-pop grocery store in downtown Wichita. Larry was there as this longtime business prepared to go out of business. It's a trip back to 1985. And speaking of a longtime institution,
I have helped hundreds of people a day. Good morning. That makes my day. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Eula West started working at the Sedgwick County Courthouse in 1969 and at age 80 showed no signs of slowing down. Everybody knew her and loved her. Watch this slice of life from 2008 and then learn the rest of the story. I'm Larry Hatteberg.
and I'm Susan Peters. Those are just some of Larry's classic stories we're going to rewind and revisit on this edition of Hatteberg's People.
These stories are like old friends. Their lives radiate from the screen like prophets of the past. They were teachers, but not in a classroom. Instead, they taught about life to those around them who cared to listen, and I was their student. Hi, everybody. It's great to have you all with us. We begin this week with a story of a Kansas couple who were down, but not out.
Marion and Ella Marrs lost everything in the Greensburg tornado and had to start their lives over after 60 years of marriage.
Now, here's the situation they faced back in 2008.
Bad dreams has already happened. Now we're going to have good dreams ahead.
All right.
There is optimism in Greensburg. The water tower is up, construction is ongoing, and exuberance is high.
Right now we're walking in our kitchen area where our new home is
kitchen
gonna be.
and
This is
dining
the kitchen
room
over
and-
here.
Marion and Ella Marrs already have a vision of the new home
Might be a
they will
change here
begin
and there,
building
but
in
not too
Greensburg
bad.
this week.
That's what makes it a reality.
I've been so used to cleaning that little bitty motorhome. I don't know whether I can handle a big house or not.
A year ago, they were living a nightmare. Between them, they lost 3 homes.
But we'll make it.
Starting over at nearly 80.
Breaks your heart.
That was then. Now, a year later, they live in their motorhome on the site of Ella's old home. All that's left of it is this concrete where the old garage was.
I had flowers in this backyard and all down along the drive here. Took me 50 years to get them planted, but I can redo them.
They spent the winter in South Texas deciding what to do, but they knew they had to come back. Greensburg is home.
We're going to go right ahead and get back to living.
So, at the corner of Iowa and Spruce in Greensburg, this little story of 2 people who at nearly 80 begin again.
We're going to do a lot of things together, just, to keep busy because it's just the 2 of us.
Now they remember the past, but they concentrate on the future and their life together. A life that even the power of a deadly tornado couldn't destroy.
True. I guess there's a scripture that says, this too shall pass, and I just keep thinking about that. It's got to get better.
And it did get better. Marion and Ella May built their new house just like they planned, and here it is at 522 West Iowa Street in Greensburg. And now which is late 2019, they still live there.
They do.
They do. And, you know, when you think about it, at 80 years old and your entire neighborhood is gone, would you stay there and rebuild? Well, they decided to. I'm not sure I would, but I admire their tenacity.
Well, you'd be tempted to just give up and say, okay, let's move. Let's move to someplace simple.
Where they have trees.
Yeah.
You know, on that. But they didn't do that. They wanted to stay in Greensburg. So more power to them.
They're still there, too.
They're still there.
I love that. I love that. Okay, from starting over to just starting out, this next story is about a Wichita middle schooler who landed an acting role on the national stage.
Now, her name was Morgan Fowler, and she loved role-playing and performing. Now, she was in that special time of her life, between childhood and adulthood, when all of life seems full of all sorts of possibilities, and Morgan was following her dreams.
That's the same kind of hat my husband was wearing when he was killed. That's the cheapest hat I ever saw. And it's your fault he's dead, he's dead, he's dead!
It is light years from the stage at Wilbur Junior High in Wichita to a nationally televised Discovery Channel docudrama on BTK.
He's chameleon-like.
Morgan, for a few brief appearances, played BTK's daughter.
I really learned how to portray a character and act like I was that person.
In teacher Amy Brown's musical classroom, Morgan is one of many young people whose dreams are the music of their generation.
That's one of the fun things about singing is going higher, going lower than what you're used to.
At home in her room, Morgan uses her closet as the private space she needs to work on her acting.
That's the cheapest hat I ever saw.
And to bring characters to life from her imagination.
Even though my door locks, I just like to be alone in my own. I like little spaces. I'd come down here, go in my closet, and I'd put on my costume, and I'd start talking to the mirror and my character. I love to read, act, and sing, and when I get older, I want to sing and act and be a songwriter.
At this age, anything is possible. But a docudrama on BTK was a serious subject. But her dad, Chris Fowler, wanted her to have the chance.
Of course, she's a ham. She enjoys acting and entertaining, so she was real excited about the opportunity to do it, so I was pretty supportive from the beginning.
There is a delightful innocence that young people like Megan possess that we adults sometimes forget.
Have my own TV show, that'd be cool. Record a CD or two.
We forget that anything is possible.
Okay, let's go.
And you always want to make a kid believe they can do anything. Just to keep encouraging and pushing along and take the good with the bad, but keep going, that's the main thing.
My life seems to go okay most of the time.
Well, Morgan continued to pursue acting and performing through her high school years, but then her dreams went in a different direction.
She is now in nursing school in Oklahoma, on her way to becoming an RN, an occupation that is probably far more fulfilling and far more great for society, right?
Well, exactly. But either way she decided to go, life is pretty good, and she made a good choice. So she can always come back to acting later.
Absolutely. We may see her yet on the big screen. Okay, now we're going to go back to 1985.
Well, Back to the Future was the #1 movie, and We Are the World topped the music charts. And Microsoft released its first ever computer operating system. Gosh, remember that? Microsoft 1.0.
And it was also the year,
long
time ago. It was also the year that Wichita said goodbye to a longtime downtown institution.
And thank you, sir. You betcha. Hello.
The Shirkmere Apartments at 2nd and Topeka. You've been by it hundreds of times, but did you ever notice this little mom-and-pop grocery store and sandwich shop?
It's a great little store.
I'm going to have a half a roast beef with lettuce and tomato.
I don't know about you, but I get hungry every time I watch Olli Damaris make a sandwich.
That's not too bad for $1.28, is it?
For 35 years, Olli has been standing behind this counter making sandwiches to order. During the noon hour, lines form sometimes clear out the door.
We come here as much as we can, probably twice a week, because the sandwiches are just great. Better than I can make at home, that's for sure.
For 35 years, Olli has built a loyal clientele.
I'll see you, Olli.
His wife, Shirley, has always been nearby, assisting at the cash register. Later this month, Olli will close his door for the last time. Olli and Shirley are going to retire.
We feel like we're leaving a bunch of good friends. And that's all right. You can retire, but I can still I'll come to your house and get my sandwiches.
Okay, come by every noon.
Every noon?
Quarter after 12, and I'll have lunch.
Okay, you know what I like now, don't you?
Sweet pickles.
And what else? Liver loaf,
liver
American
loaf.
cheese, mustard, onions, and bread.
Right.
What kind of bread?
Wheat.
Right. You got it.
The shelves are becoming bare as Olli and Shirley let their stock run out. Stores like this used to be in every neighborhood. Now they are an oddity, a leftover from the past.
I'd like French Schweiger on white with some lettuce and mayonnaise, please.
And they always talk to you. They're friendly people. It's just a friendly store, no matter when you walk in.
Olli started this business in 1950. Just 5 years before, he had been a POW in a German prison camp. These posters remind him of a past that still bothers him.
I think it's bothered all of us real bad, really. It's just beginning to come out, I think. We bottled up all these years and kept busy. Now you can't work as hard while it comes out. You get thinking about it, really.
For the past 3.5 decades, this former POW has made his American dream come true. He started a business, provided good service, and did the simple things, like pretending to give his favorite customers a hard time.
Yeah, but you know, you don't give anybody a hard time unless you like them. You either like them or you're mad at them. Hell, I'm afraid to get mad at Olli. His wife would kill me.
It's people like this we're going to miss.
Look closely, folks. Stores like this you'll soon find only in history books.
He'll sneak back in tonight and get a turkey sandwich before he goes home.
After closing up shop, Olli lived another 4 years before passing away in 1989. His wife, Shirley, died in 2005. I remember that place, and you know, they just don't have places like this anymore, at least that I'm aware of.
And for that to be still open in 1985, what a wonderful treasure, a wonderful gift to Wichita.
And for everybody who went there, it's a great community memory.
I know.
It's wonderful.
All right, here's another story from 1985. Just as Ronald Reagan was beginning his second term in office and the first Nintendo gaming system was being released, Homey Spawn was living the good life.
Homey is a great memory. It was life just the way he wanted it, living it on his terms, out in rural Kansas.
Well, they all say I'm a gentleman farmer. That's what they call me downtown.
Homey Spawn is a gentle gentleman farmer. Retired from his local car dealership business, Homey lives with his wife on a small acreage north of Fredonia.
Yes, it is a lot of work, but that is the way I enjoy my retirement.
He spends hours growing these flowers, not for himself, but just because they make other people happy.
Yes, I get good out of it too because it makes them happy and I'm happy. As you can see, I never get done with all my work here, and for me, that is retirement. These plants, they talk to me, they keep me awake. And for me, this is retirement, but still working every day. Seeing these cabbages grow, tomatoes grow, just everything in general appeals to me. There's just nothing about it that I don't like. But when I was in business, that mental strain was harder on me than this hard physical work. That is a real nice cabbage. That head probably right now will weigh around 4 pounds. Come on, you people! Come on! Come on, you people!
If you drop by Homey's place, he'll introduce you to his people. That's what he calls his cows.
Come on! Come on! Come on! They're just like humans to me. Oh yes, I love them, and you see they're tame. See, a lot of cattle, a stranger come out like this and they'll run. These here, they're pets.
Meet more of Homey's pets, channel catfish, and people come from miles around just to watch Homey feed.
Come on, you fish! Come on, you fish! Come on, you fish! Come on! Come on! These fish that you're looking at will run like 12, 15 pounds. I guess that to a lot of people, this wouldn't mean a whole lot. But to me, it's really heaven right here on earth. Where you been? I can't. Hi, come up here and see Daddy. Oh my goodness. You can't beat it. Could you set up pretty? Set up pretty.
Well, that way of life must have agreed with him, because Homey lived another 18 years before passing away at the ripe old age of 91. He lived his retired life the way he wanted to live it. With his garden, with his fish, he just loved it.
Can you imagine the peace he had in his last years? We should all wish for that, and very few of us will get it, but Homey did.
Homey was a very calm man and a guy who liked to be outside in nature. So, wonderful guy, great memory.
Glad you told us his story.
That's right.
Okay, now to a more recent story about a Kansas woman who never got tired of playing with dolls.
Now she started collecting and repairing them, and before long, take a look at what happened.
Some of them think, I wonder what's really in there, and others know what's in here, but just don't take the time to stop.
Room after room after room. Over there, in here, around this corner, over here. Actually, they are everywhere. Dolls of every shape and size, almost 5,000 of the painted ladies.
I had 7 granddaughters, and I lived in Texas, and I decided to just fix some garage sale dolls up for them to play with.
In Barbara's Towanda Museum, dolls stand at attention like an army of painted faces just looking for a smile.
I think each doll, there's something, even though they're made by the same company, there's something different about them.
In Towanda since 1989, Barbara has found her niche, both in the museum and in her doll hospital.
It's a labor of love. I just have fun doing it. That's how I learned how to do it. I like doing it. I think if I really had to do it for a living and had to do it, I don't think I'd like it. But if you just do it for fun, I like it. There. Now, she's ready to go back and play with the others.
She even has an intensive care area where very sick dolls wait for their turn at a new life.
They're sick, and then when they get well, they go in the other room.
I built every bit of this, from everything you see in here, from one end to the other, this whole building, from the floor up, I built it all.
Barbara's husband, Jim, was both architect and builder.
The main thing what I liked about it, it kind of got her out of my hair, and here's something she liked to do so I could do my thing, I guess.
And with all these dolls, Jim was hoping his wife would make $1 million.
Oh yeah, get us rich and famous, but all she got was the famous, she didn't get the rich.
Well, that didn't happen, but the collection does continue to grow.
They just fascinate me when you get so many different ones.
Most days, Barbara works with her sister in the museum, but today her husband is the lucky one. Surrounded by frozen smiles and dresses and lace, it proves even a guy can find a home in a doll museum.
Looks about done to me.
I'm Larry Hatteberg. Now, since that story first aired in 2005, Barbara has had to add on to the museum because her collection is now doubled, but she's still at it, and of course, her husband still helping.
That is so cool. In fact, the Paradise Doll Museum and Hospital is still open Tuesday through Friday afternoons by appointment. It's easy to find. It's just a half block off Main Street in Towanda. Okay, that's on my to-do list, and it has been since you had that story on in 2005.
Right, and there are these little gems in these little tiny Kansas towns all across the area that most people aren't aware of. But if you stop, look around, and ask a few folks, you can find them.
And they're worth seeing.
That's right.
One place that's not always so fun to visit, the county courthouse, of course. A lot of times, it means you're in trouble.
It does sometimes, but for generations, Eula West helped make a visit to the Sedgwick County Courthouse as pleasant as possible. And that was one of the 2 jobs she had in 2009 at age 81.
Good morning, how are you? This is my family away from home down here. This has been my life for 38, almost 39 years.
5 days a week, she heads to work. 81-year-old Eula West is about to be surrounded by people at the Sedgwick County Courthouse.
Good morning. Fine, how are you? I have helped hundreds of people a day. Good morning. That makes my day. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
For her, the courthouse information desk has been nearly a 4-decade job.
I love it. I love people. This is my life. Morning County Courthouse.
The courthouse walls may surround her, but her personality surrounds the courthouse.
Okay, are you in tune? Love. Happy birthday to you. Go ahead.
She works under the security department, and when it's busy there, she seems to be everywhere.
I'm in the security department. Well, I claim I'm in every department. In fact, I claim I run the courthouse.
You know, if you stand down in our lobby very long, you will see a lot of different emotions pass by.
Right.
And you're just a stable person down there that's been helpful for, I don't know how many
38 years, almost 39.
Almost 39 years. That's a long time.
Well, you know, that rocking chair just doesn't fit me. I haven't found a rocking chair yet that does fit me.
When her day at the courthouse ends, she's not done yet. She begins another shift here at Parallax, a drug rehabilitation center.
This is altogether a different atmosphere than I have in the day. That is a goal. That's really a goal.
Many of the folks here call her mom. She listens without judgment.
To hopefully having a full-time job.
And she lets her heart guide her.
Life is precious.
Remember, Eula started her day at 8 a.m. at the courthouse. She ends it at 11 p.m. here. A 15-hour day, 5 days a week at 81.
But my feet love to walk and I love to talk. Goodbye. See you later. So that's the reason at 81 I'm still here. This is my life.
Now, Eula says she didn't want to, but in September of 2018, on her 91st birthday, she retired. It's okay to retire at 91.
I guess at 91,
yeah,
you might
I
as well.
suppose. Well, she retired because of health reasons.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
We were very, very lucky to have her all these years. Eula says she still goes back to the courthouse, though, to visit at least once a month. And thank goodness, because they all miss her down there. Sometimes she spends a whole day there catching up with friends she made over her 49 years on the job.
And I had never met anyone else at the Sedgwick County Courthouse who knew everybody. And she knew everybody, and everybody knew her. And so to have that relationship with people working at the courthouse and to all of the people who were elected to the courthouse.
Oh, yeah, in all those years.
She knew all those people. And
wow.
I'm guessing she knew a few secrets.
I bet she knew a lot of secrets. Maybe you can do the next story.
Maybe
on the
we
secrets.
could on the secrets of Eula.
No, maybe not. That is all the stories we have, though, for this week. If you have a question or comment, you can shoot it off to Hatteberg's people at kpts.org.
And we, of course, enjoy all your letters and enjoy having you watch the show every week. Until next time, I'm Larry Hatteberg.
And I'm Susan Peters. We're going to see you again soon with more great stories from the Hatteberg Vault. Goodbye.